massive thank you for you, Moonblade, for joining me here.
My absolute pleasure.
Awesome. So I'll try not to talk as much, but I'll try and kind of dim down on my talking, because sometimes I end up talking quite a lot. So.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. you might even have more knowledge of TVP than me. Though I don't know, man. I have played a lot of Terran in the past. Metagame has changed since I played it, and yeah, this matchup's pretty interesting.
So let's just do the player introductions very quickly and then get onto the game, as we do have Startail Bomber going to be spawning up in the top right-hand corner here as our blue Terran. And down to the bottom left-hand corner, we do have Real going to be spawning here as our orange Protoss. Now, let's just allude as to your background with Terran. Why were you playing? Was it just some off-racing?
Yeah, I used to play a bit of Terran as off-race for a lot of fun. I kind of got to Grandmaster with it at one point, so I was pretty competent with them. Though it was a bit early on, and since then I haven't really played as much. But I have a few ideas how TVP is played, but obviously the metagame's changed.
Yeah.
It's all about the mid-game these days with double upgrades and mass drops, M&M versus charge lots, and Archons. It's really interesting these days.
It is indeed. Sometimes it can fall into that lull of like, oh, well, this is going to be like 20 minutes for a while. I'm just going to sit back and, you know, not really attack you, nor are you going to attack me, and we just macro up.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Nowadays, I mean, you're seeing a lot of like Warp Prism play incorporated, even with Storm drops and charge lots, being able to put on a lot of harassment as well. So that's really cool to see. And Real, despite Real is a Naniwa case for me. He is a player that initially started out very, very cheesy. Like in weekly cups and stuff like that, would always go like one base players, blah, blah, blah. And for a longer time than most would stick with that. But then as time went on, he developed this more macro style, realized he wasn't being able to keep up with that like one basing style. But it's really what makes Real scary. The fact that he can switch it up so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Very powerful option to have.
Very, very much so. So for now, look at this. Bomber already going for some kind of 2-rack shenaniganry here.
With gas. So it's something funky going on.
Something funky indeed, as he will be scouting out here. But aside from that, what do we have going on in Real space?
Kind of a standard 1 gateway, 1 gas, possibly an expansion shortly after.
Yeah.
Thinking an early Zealot. Sometimes I believe they decide to skip the Zealot and chrono Stalker for more defense, or be aggressive and scouting.
That can always be a little bit scary because of sometimes, you know, your Terran opponent will come along and put an engineering bay down.
Yeah.
Naturally, if you want to go for a 1-gate expand.
Or I guess they could even do a 2-rack such as this, and this could make it very difficult for us to decide to skip the Zealots.
Exactly. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, this might do a lot of damage. If he's going for Marauders as well.
Yeah, this is very aggressive.
Yeah, but the thing is that Real is going to poke up, and he's going to see a Tech Lab on the barracks, as well as potentially no expansion, unless he actually just runs into this Marauder straight away.
Oh, he sees the barracks straight away. He knows something's going on. He sees Marines. He's going to just be chronoing Stalkers, I'm assuming, and he's going to be... I think he's going to be absolutely ready for this.
Yeah, potentially. And the big problem here for Real, though, is... Well, there we go. There's the extra gateways going down.
Brilliant
that is a potential problem. But he actually already cancelled.
Yeah, there's no Nexus, no problem.
It's not there, man. He's like finishing the... Where's it gone?
Changes his mind pretty quick. So good scout by that Zealot, I must say. I think he'll be pretty safe as long as he holds the ramp, doesn't get too pokey with the Stalkers and Zealots, because I'm sure... those Marauders could claim a few kills.
Now this is very important here for Real. He doesn't have a sentry out, he can't force field the ramp, so he needs to be able to create a little bit of a buffer here to be able to deal with this aggression coming along. So really nice choice there to be able to take those probes off. And
he needs to be very careful not to commit too many of these probes, but looks like he's going to lose them all, and this is quite a few probes. This is going to set him behind quite a bit.
Oh wow, yeah, that's actually losing 6 workers there. It is still 20 workers to 19 workers, but again, with those mules out for the Terran, that's going to be able to allow him to get a nice little economic boost going on.
It's kind of like an eco-harass, because his command center's behind it, and it's already past halfway, so this is going to put him in a really nice economy lead.
No, you're entirely right there. As for now, Bunker going down to be able to bolster those defenses once again. More barracks being added on, and we did have that one lifted off so he can get the extra Marines out. And from here, where does Real go? He's getting the expansion up, and other than that, just the 3 gateways for now.
Yeah, I guess he's going to try and stabilize on three gates, go into maybe a robo for some observers, and kind of wait it out the Nexus and maybe go for a timing or a third base into mid to late game.
Yeah, and I mean, there's all the potential in the world right now for both of these players to be able to do that kind of thing. Again, Entombed Valley, most people would consider this quite a defensive map because of that 3-base mechanic.
It's very difficult to attack, especially I guess as a Zerg player, because force fields, bunkers, tanks, all these things have such great positions on these 3-base ramp.
Now, Bomber is one of the players that really kind of advocated this very quick, relatively quick 2 engineering-based style against Protoss. He hasn't thrown down the second one just yet, but chances are once that first upgrade will finish out, he'll throw down that second engineering bay with the armory as well to be able to get that nice 2-2 timing going.
Absolutely.
And, ooh, Real, this is something that Real is very fond of.
Oh, this is interesting.
So, with the Dark Shrine going down, it seems that, well, I mean, it entirely depends, because is Bomber the kind of Terran to go up against the Protoss and throw a missile turret down at the front of his base?
Yeah, and I guess that's all it really takes at this point in the game. Is he going to decide to put down that turret? I guess even if for observers, it's a good idea to stop them knowing your army movements and army size. So we'll see if he puts it down early enough, I guess.
Very true. As for now, we have the factory on the way here for Bomber. Adding extra gas geysers. Not much else going on, though, in his base other than getting out that combat shields. And did poke out to the middle of the map with some Zealots and Sentries. Maybe assuming that his opponent might have like a Marine on the Watchtower or something and saying, hey, you need to bolster some defenses. I'm coming for a push.
Absolutely. Kind of risky, I guess, if there was like a Marine Marauder timing coming or something. It looks like the Marauders are going to take it back.
Indeed they do.
It's very important to have that middle tower to see if an attack's coming. Probably more for the Terran than the Protoss, as they always have force fields ready.
Yep. Now we have a third on the way. Starport being added on to be able to just defend himself against some kind of, because Protoss in this matchup have sometimes been favoring those really fast robo bays to be able to get a few Colossus out to poke at the front, and from there on, if you don't have the Starport down in time, you can.
Oh, the turret's up there. Oh, no chance. Wow,
no chance at all.
That's brilliant defense. And salvages the bunker, and there's one more DT kind of ninjaing around. Probably delay this third base a bit, though I don't think Bomber even has a third command center yet.
Yeah, I don't think he does either. It just seems to me that actually it is a really late third command. Normally you would see the one thrown down in at least the main, and then flown over to the third location to be able to keep that going.
Perhaps he's kind of hinging on like a timing, maybe to do with Medivacs or like a +1 attack or something like that.
Potentially, as for now, we have Real mixing it up, going for the Robo Bay. He's going for the Warp Prism as well. Technically, if he could ferry in a Dark Templar into the back with this Warp Prism, then he negates this missile turret. But of course, he doesn't know if there's any missile turrets in the back just yet. So that's something he has to kind of take care of as well. But he already has a third up here. So Real is putting himself in a really nice economical position.
He's looking very strong right now. Very late with upgrades, though, I must say. He's only started his +1 armor, of all things, straight away. So he'll be at a disadvantage against Bomber's +1 already, almost +1 armor finished.
Yeah, that's going to be finishing up in just a bit. I've just noticed we don't actually have health bars on. Do you know the shortcut for doing health bars? Because I normally just have them always on.
Well, you can always press Alt, but besides that, I'm not entirely sure, unless you go into the options.
No, that's great, thank you. So, for now we have the extended thermal lances on the way here. Charge going to be going down for Real as well to be able to just continue going up to that very scary Protoss style. And other than that, actually I'm just going to hold Alt down the whole time, that way I don't miss a thing. So, other than that, those DTs still being quite annoying, quite pesky.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this has stifled Bomber a little bit. It's kind of constricted him to the point where he can't really get this third up and running too soon.
Another DT to kind of delay, I'm guessing, the push. Give him some more time to get Colossi, charge lots, and armor out. Though I don't think it's really going to slow down Bomber. I think he can pretty much just ignore it if he really wanted to, at the moment anyway.
Yeah, they're healing through it pretty well here, I must say. Nicely done by the Medivacs. As for now, we will have that Warp Prism actually making its way in, dropping those DTs in, and there's no missile turrets in the back.
Wow, that's probably a big mistake by Bomber. This could do a lot of damage and waste a lot of critical scans that he might use for his offensive push.
Meanwhile, we have that push at the front here coming along, but he sees the one Colossus. He needs to pull back. A few force fields do land, catching a little bit of that bio.
Very nice. this is going to put him, I think, greatly ahead with economy. And it's still a DT in his natural, taking some kills.
Yeah. Now this one DT, how has it almost killed that barracks?
Wow.
Oh, he doesn't get it.
Kind of probably could have been used better. Probably not on a barracks, more on SCVs.
Probably.
But I guess it buys a scan, so that's always a good thing. It's going to stop him from being aggressive. And yeah, Real's sitting on 3 base, and Bomb is stuck on 2. He's got a great tech going, Colossus, armor, up. He's got both upgrades going now. So I think he's pretty set for a nice timing of some sort with a few Colossi and mass charge lots.
Yeah, and I mean, right now with Bomber constricted to 2 base, it often gets to a point for Terrans where they don't necessarily have enough gas to be able to commit to every single avenue that they need to. Right now, there's the Vikings on the way, sure, but if this Templar Archives comes out quickly enough,
new tech he's going to have to get. He's going to have to get Ghosts, and looks like he's misrallied his SCVs, so he's. You'll see it soon enough, I'm sure. There we go.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. A tech switch could be absolutely so strong right now with such an economic lead. And I'm sure he's going to be taking a 4th base with this push.
And actually,
maybe it's a ninja 4th base.
Interesting. Now, Warp Prism did die over here, so that's nice scouting out there by Bomber, as well as a pylon to be able to be used for warping in. Meanwhile, with this composition, rising as it is, as you rightly pointed out briefly, the fact that Bomber does have those upgraded advantages is fantastic for him. But again, the AoE potentials, and will Bomber have enough to be able to commit to Vikings and Ghosts at the same time once these high Templars come out?
Absolutely true. I'm not entirely sure what his Viking count is at, but he's been making them. Probably looks like 5, probably 7 to pop out soon enough. And yeah, it should be enough for the few Colossus that Real have, but a little depend on positioning, and it looks like he's at least going to deny this 4th base. But he's really going to have to stop him going off this ramp here, otherwise he's going to take the 3rd as well.
Yeah, he is indeed. You can't really engage here as Protoss.
Looks like he just caught out of position kind of simply. And he's going to take that 3rd base, and these Vikings kind of in the middle of nowhere too, but there's not much anti-air anyway. I mean, 2 Stalkers. That's not really nothing to be scared of. He's going to take the 3rd base. He's going to kill everything there.
Oh, wow. This is a huge misstep for Real. He could have, I mean, in theory, he could have done a lot of damage to this army. But of course, as you said, he didn't really have the Stalker count to be able to deal with the Vikings either. So his Colossus were almost always going to die.
Absolutely.
If he'd have taken an engagement.
It really would have had to be in a really perfect position for Real to like use the charge lots.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah, Bomber actually going to try and push in here as he's killing off the Colossus pretty darn quickly, realizing that his opponent doesn't have that much anti-air, but he does have a lot of Zealots. I think he realized maybe that his upgrade advantage was there just a little bit, but actually no, both players on 2-2 at this point in time, and with those Stalkers on the way.
So that's big again.
Oh, just barely falls.
And here comes some drop.
Oh
my goodness.
Storms do land, but not really being able to kill too much there.
Yeah, it's not enough. I think he's got like one good storm left, and unless it kills like everything, pretty sure Real's gonna fall.
Yeah, Real now not really having too much AoE left here. Maybe 1 or 2 more storms left in him. Guardian Shield goes up.
He's getting ready to split it, but oh my goodness, it's scary. Oh, and he runs in. He doesn't even use the storms. And this is going to be incredibly cost-effective for a Bomber at the very least.
Oh, and even some feedbacks there in desperation for Real to try and drain the energy on those medevacs. So if they continue to stim, they won't really have too much of a way to be able to continue that battle.
Yeah.
But for now, I mean, he's done the damage he needed to do, right?
Oh, he's done tremendous damage, and he's sitting great. He's on 3 saturated bases. He can take a 4th if he really wants to, but probably at this point he's keen to just kill him.
Yeah. Again, though, I mean, falling back to this, if he wants to establish a 4th, he knows how crippled his opponent's income is right now. The unit counting station is 58 probes to 50 SCVs, which isn't too massive a lead for Bomber. But again, with that 3rd base having died off, this is always gonna stifle a little bit more.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I guess Real's greatest hope is probably some real money side storms.
Yeah.
And really to push it back in, but he's sitting on the same amount of bases. He hasn't taken that 3rd base back, though he already has another base.
I think a lot of Terrans would tell you, though, that Psy Storms are able to do a lot.
Oh, yes, I've seen it happen, but this is not a good position to be in, running straight head into the army, kind of no vision at all, and it looks like here comes the Psy Storms, but oh my goodness, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And this is just going to crush.
There you go, GG guys, for game number 2, a Startail Bomber will be able to tie up the series here in this best of 3.
Yeah, amazing.
That was well played by Bomber. It was looking a little bit sketchy.
It was. I thought Real was definitely ahead at some points, with economy especially and tech. But I guess he never got enough Colossi out. He never had enough anti-air, and he was really caught out of position, or he just didn't really want to commit on that third base, so he had to pull back to the natural, and it was kind of just over by then. Yeah,
maybe a slight overcommittal to the idea of just the Zealots alone. If you have that Stalker backbone along with Blink to be able to, in essence, zone out your opponent's Vikings, then you can take a bit of better engagement from there.
It was really his position, like those ramps for the 3 base, they're great for defense, like force fields, Colossi, but they're bad for charge loads. Like, you're not going to get a full surround with charge loads at all if you're fighting up that ramp.
Yeah, and he just let him take that position. So unfortunately for Real there, he does lose the second game.